Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello class, how are you today? Let me introduce myself. My name is Anggun Gunapuspita and today I will present about language and class. And I will start from number 1 is about language and class. Social class involve grouping people together and according them status within society according to the groups they belong to. As we shall see, for class, there is no single obvious eternal measure like sex or time, which can be used as a defining principle. Even so, social stratification based on some concept of class is pervasive and a great deal of sociolinguistic research has been focused on it. And the second is variable of social class. Number 1 is power. What is power? Power is the degree to which a person can control other people. And number 2 is wealth. Wealth is object or symbol owned by people which have value attached to them. And number 3 is prestige. Prestige is the degree of respect, favorable regard, or importance accorded to a person by member of society. And next is linguistic variation and social class. This point is talk about accent and dialect. What is accent? All speakers have both an accent and dialect. The term accent refers to pronunciation. To speak with a regional accent, for instance, is to pronounce your words in a manner associated with certain geographical area. For example, in the southeast of England, the vowel sound in the word bed will usually be pronounced like the A in the car. But in most parts of the north of England, it would sound like A in cat. In many of the southern states of America, bed would be pronounced with a vowel sound that is more like the second syllable of player. And the second is dialect. Dialect, on the other hand, refers to grammar and vocabulary or lexis. For example, according to which region of Britain or the United States you come from, you might use a sentence such as I didn't do anything as opposite to I didn't do anything. Or I might could do it instead of I might be able to do it. These are grammatical variation. In terms of vocabulary, speakers in certain regions of Britain might use the word parent as opposite to child, while American speakers of English are likely to use diaper, where a British speakers would use nappy. In spoken language, a dialect is often associated with a particular accent, so a speaker who uses a regional dialect will also be more than likely to have the corresponding regional accent. For example, both Britain and the United States have standard varieties of English, and these varieties are also dialect, albeit prestigious ones. As prestigious dialect, they are social rather than regional, that is, they are preferred by particular or usually higher social group, and in particularly or usually more formal social situation. Standard English is often equated with correct English, and in Britain is also known by terms which reflect its status, such as Queen's English or BBC English. And the third is accent and dialect, a clue to social information. The expectation that we can gain social information from accent and dialect is widespread. You only have to look at some of canonical literature to see how the social position of a given character is often indicated by the type of accent or dialect they use. Shakespeare, for example, is well known for his use of language as a means of signifying a character's position in society. In the famous graveyard scene of Hamlet, Shakespeare makes some clear linguistic distinction between the lowly gravedigger, here called clown, and Prince Hamlet. And you can read the dialogue. These gravediggers, members of the lower social class, speak in prose that is ordinary speech, rather than the verse which is spoken by the characters of higher social standing throughout the play. And number 4 is, does social class really affect language? The answer is yes. For example, in Britain, people who belong to the highest social class tend not to have a particularly broad regional accent and dialect, or at least they don't have a variety that can be easily identified as belonging to a particular region. Standard linguistic forms are used throughout Britain, with little variation. As we move further down the social scale, we find greater regional variation. And there is different speech communities. The same linguistic variable is like to have different values in different speech communities. In New York City, R is pronounced more by higher social classes, but in Reading, England, R is pronounced less by higher social classes. Number 5 is defining social class. In the feudal system of land ownership, the nobility of landowner, which is sense of family tradition, privilege, and knightly conduct became the dominant ruling group. In much modern industrial societies, the system of social stratification is much more fluid. We experience a good deal of social mobility people through generation or perhaps they in their own lifetime, moving up or down the social scale. For example, a social class in United States. Class 1, mature professionals, executive or large concern. Class 2, lesser professional, executive or medium-sized concerns. Class 3, semi-professional, administration of small business. Class 4, technician, owners of very small business. Class 5, skilled workers. Class 6, semi-skilled workers, and Class 7, unskilled workers. And the last is research into the relationship between language and social class. Leboeuf, at 1966 major study of linguistic variation in New York City, calculated social class according to the criteria of education, occupation, and income, resulting in categories of lower class, working class, lower middle class, and upper middle class. And in Britain, Threadgill in 1974 used income, education, housing, locality, and father's occupation to classify his informants. Shui et al. In 1968 study in Detroit used education, occupation, and residence to distinguish upper and lower middle class and upper and lower working class. In the following section, we will look in more detail at Threadgill study and at Leboeuf department store study in New York City. It is important to note that these now classic studies of linguistic variation are based on the Council's view of social class. Okay, that's all about language and class. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.